Hi, my name is Michelle Clift, and I'm going to be doing the description of our problem and overview of the intervention. There is a great need to help people throughout the world who suffer from malnutrition. In Bolivia, people do not always have the ability to grow nutritious food for one reason or another. This is reflected by how high the infant mortality rate is in the country. A website called Countries and Their Cultures says almost 30% of the infants under the age of 3 suffer from chronic malnutrition. The people eat a lot of potatoes, tubers, and grains that have some nutritional value but do not contain all of the vitamins and minerals needed to stay healthy. The area is a great spot to grow quinoa, but it is in such high demand in other parts of the world that the cost for it has risen so much the people of Bolivia cannot afford to buy their own grain. Our goal is to help them supplement their diet by designing a small box garden that they can use for their own families. Square foot gardening is a method of gardening that uses very little space, seeds, soil, and water, but that is highly productive. A 4 foot by 4 foot box is filled with a soil mix and then is divided into 16 1 foot squares. This small size makes any place in the box reachable without stepping into the gardening area, which leaves the soil aerated and with no need for tilling or cultivation. The number of seeds sown into one square depends on the plant size. Anywhere from 1 to 16 plants can be grown per square. Once the plants of a square are harvested or finished producing, they can be taken out and then new seeds planted along with more compost laid. Watering is done by hand just around the plants, and a variety of plants can be grown in the same 4 by 4 box for a natural bug deterrent. The people will be able to grow vegetables and food that are rich in nutrients that they don't always have in their regular diet. The boxes will be able to be built using local materials so that there will be little to no import needed for goods. The people will be able to feed their families foods that will help them stay healthy so that they are not sick. When they are healthy people, they will be able to work and make money to be able to live with their families.
Hi, my name is Madison, and I'm going to be talking about why square foot gardening will fix the problem of malnutrition. One of the issues is that Bolivians do not have enough nutrient-rich foods. Square foot gardening allows for a variety of crops to be grown within a small space. With more variety, the people are able to get some nutrients from certain foods and some from others. Square foot gardening requires little water. In areas of Bolivia where fresh water is scarce, Bolivians will still be able to grow food in these gardens with little water. The potting mix absorbs well in a relatively small area, so the soil will be moist for a few days. To address the shortage of water for use for these gardens, collecting rainwater might be a viable option for getting fresher or cleaner water. Bolivia experiences flooding and drought seasonally. In the case of these natural disasters, a square foot garden has the flexibility of being built above ground or in an area that is safe from the elements. Building above ground will help prevent floodwaters from washing away the garden. Materials are also easily accessible. For a successful square foot garden, you will need potting mix that is high in nutrients and high in organic matter. Compost is the most important part of this and is very easy to make. Families can create compost from garden clippings, dry leaves, kitchen scraps, and waste, wood chips, soil, and shredded paper. Square foot gardening will also provide ease of access to food. This will reduce the need to travel to purchase food, which takes time and money. Access to food can also be contributing to malnutrition, and this can be solved with square foot gardening.
Hi, my name is Kathy Hatch, and I'm going to explain how we will implement our project. The goal of our project is for people to be able to grow their own nourishing food. This requires seed. So our first step in our project will be to involve Seed Programs International. They work through other humanitarian organizations to provide quality seed to impoverished communities in developing countries. With a good source for seeds, almost everything else we will need for our square foot gardens can be found indigenously. Square foot gardening is a simple process, but we can't just drop in and tell the people of Bolivia that we have all the answers and start building gardens. A successful project will first require that the people see this as a very possible means of providing the important and basic need of nourishing food for their families. Our starting point will be to offer an opportunity for the people to learn why they would want to plant a square foot garden and to be able to see how they are done. Focusing on unplanned suburban areas as well as rural regions, these being the areas where people struggle with the basic need of food the most, we will work with community leaders to decide on a place where a few demonstration gardens could be built, and we will invite the members of the community to participate with us. Our hope is that this will begin to build relationships of trust with the people and community spirit. It will be important to educate the people so they can understand why growing their own food will be so valuable. Once the demonstration gardens have been established, we will hold classes on nutrition and cooking, highlighting the vegetables we have grown in the garden. Along with building and growing the gardens, we will teach composting. Compost supplies the nutrients for the gardens and resupplies the soil when plants have been removed. One of the best features is that it is free when we make it ourselves, and it is a way to utilize materials that would otherwise become household garbage. We will teach families how to build a simple composting frame, or show them how they can compost by simply digging a hole for a container. Our ultimate goal is to be able to extend the opportunity to build gardens to many individual families. Considering the economy of Bolivia, we will need to assess what resources are available and what is affordable for the people. If the gardens are to be placed on the ground, they can be built with anything from milled lumber, logs, and even a frame of rock stacked to contain the soil. We can even build the gardens so they are movable, which provides the potential to protect them from heavy rains or flooding. We will also guide families on how to choose a location for their garden, a place that receives 6 to 8 hours of sunlight each day, and also where the water doesn't puddle after a rainstorm. The actual construction of the gardens is very simple. The frames are made by 4 by 4 foot squares that are 6 inches deep. The next step is to fill them with the soil mix. Finally, we will plant the seeds. Seed planting gives us an opportunity to teach about germination time and proper watering. Two necessities that we've talked about, water and seeds, will be in constant need of resupply. We would like to teach the people about rain collection in order for them to have a water supply close at hand. If people have to walk for miles to get water when it is not readily available, they may be less likely to want to plant gardens. Seed resupply is another concern because it can incur some expense. We will teach families and individuals how to harvest, dry, and store seeds from the plants that they grow. This will provide an unlimited supply of seeds for future planting. There will be many things we learn as we implement our project, and we will be grateful for those lessons. We hope that with the knowledge we can share about square foot gardening, we can help the people of Bolivia feel more secure in meeting the daily need for food.